hate? Who do we admire?
Appreciate it. Rhymes with hate, sort of.
I know the word perfectly well, Lucille. I was just experimenting.
Like you doing with my berry.
I have introduced the thing to a little style, haven't I?
Looks as if someone shot, isn't it? Fell down on your head.
Oh, one up to the younger generation.
Oh, I'm sorry, Auntie Annie, but it's not you. It's too,
Undignified.
Yeah, that's right, undignified.
There was once a summer's day when a boy with red hair said that the blue berry I was wearing made me look fast.
That was then, though.
Oh, Lucille, that is one of the most depressing sentences in the English language, or in any other language for that matter.
Billy Jakes from Brewers in, boys. Got a couple of seat tickets for this afternoon. I thought it'd be more comfortable for you than standing.
Yes, there seems to be a conspiracy afoot to make me feel decrepit. I am not decrepit, and one cannot study wildlife from an armchair.
Hey, what does she mean, study wildlife?
Me and me mates. I'll do the pastry for 2 pies, and then you won't have to worry about dinner.
Oh, you're a cracking female, Val.
I've done the washing. I'll iron this afternoon.
Oh, there's no worry. I haven't had this vest on for a fortnight yet.
If you need any help in the shop, don't be afraid to give us a shout, because I can always get somebody to look after the kids for a couple of hours.
Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to work.
Oh, don't be so daft.
I'm going into the shop, David.
Oh, Val, you tell her. You're not fit, love.
It's a bit soon to be standing up in the shop.
Look, you've both known me for a few years now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, I might like a 2-hour lunch break and a sit-down of vanilla in the afternoon, but I'm no dozy, Daniel. I'm fit. I can work. I've got to work before I go daft.
Oh, it's all right, love. You know best how you feel. But, you know, the more you rest, the sooner you'll be able to...
To what? Get pregnant again?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, aye.
She's coming round. So she's coming round.
Of course she is.
What's the matter? Forgot egg on me chops or something?
People's defences are supposed to be down when they're asleep.
What do you mean by that?
I was trying to have a squint at your soul, but all I managed were your tonsils when you snored.
Whose fault is it I'm sitting here snoring at this time of day?
From the look of your tonsils, it could be their fault.
No, it's yours.
How do you make that out?
You wakened me when you came rolling in last night.
I did not come rolling in. I came crawling in because I was so flaming tired from serving the Friday night people. There's something primitive about folk on a Friday night.
Got brass in their pockets, haven't they?
And it shows. Anyway, I don't know what you're on about, because when I came in to see whether you kicked your blankets off, you were lying there giving a fair imitation of a dead lamppost.
Must have been gathering strength to cough. Me complaint acts up if I'd been wakened.
Ina wants you, Dennis.
Hey, she's not after borrowing money again, is she? The life she leads.
I think it's about...
What about him?
Oh, she didn't say, just dispatched me.
Why is it that whenever Mrs. Sharple sends for me, I always feel as if I've been tying bricks to door handles?
I got a shock yesterday.
You did?
And Mr. Wormholt sent a joiner to mend the back gate.
It's not one of my brighter days, love. I don't think
He
I've...
come in a hearse.
Perhaps he's just getting used to one.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Tanner. Are you well?
Oh, as well as I'll ever be again.
I've got something for you.
Oh, if it's anything for me complaint, I've tried them all. From camphor bags to goose grease.
It's a poem.
For me gravestone.
Now, listen. Good as gold, strong as steel, always at his master's heel, faithful to the bitter end, he really was man's best friend.
That's for a dog.
I know, but it's beautiful.
I didn't do it.
Do what?
It.
What are you talking about?
Make a slide out of your front door.
I slipped outside the Rovers, if you must know.
Rovers, eh?
I was going in.
Did I say different?
No, your tongue didn't, but your clever dick eyes did. Sit you down. Are you travelling in?
Oh, I'm taking some of his smalls at laundrette. Mrs. Caldwell says you wanted me.
What's Wally Tanner's excuse for dropping in this time?
Says he's ill.
And is he?
Oh, he coughs a bit. And stripped, he's got a lot in common with a pair of braces.
Did Madam Toffee Shop show him the door?
He says he left before she spent his life savings on a wrought iron banister.
Could have tried it on. Most likely is.
Most likely.
And are you going to let him?
Last night, Mrs. Sharples, I had one of my urges to improve myself. I know I should have her more often. I went to see a film, Macbeth, by William Shakespeare.
I know who wrote Macbeth.
Well, standing next to me in queue were an old fella, you see. He had a dirty mac on and he hadn't shaved. And just before we went in, he said to me, "Is this a good war picture?"
I know you're trying to tell me something.
Yeah, well, it were old age, you see, Mrs. Sharples, spending his pension on a Shakespeare play when he thought it were a war film.
It's all those warm-up pictures, you know.
I didn't have the heart to put him right.
Probably put 2 or 3 hours on for him.
Well, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Wally Tanner is not one of your chaps in a cinema queue, you know.
Well, how can I find out?
By asking your dad. It's quite likely his life savings that Wally's walked off with.
I'd like to believe it weren't.
Just then, love, this pretty little female ginger cat who'd been sent to spy out the land sadly said, all he can talk about is his operations.
Oh.
Really, Mr. Tanner?
Hey, what makes you think I'm the sort of woman you can tell jokes like that to?
Oh, I always know a lass that likes a good laugh.
How?
Oh, I have a look if she's got cheerful cheeks or not.
And have I?
Ha ha, as cheerful as beans.
Oh. But he was ample in spats, that was.
He's still got a gleam in his eye.
There you are, quarter coffee, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you, Dave.
We're going to the match then.
Certainly.
Hey, you do know that they play with their feet and they don't all run the same way.
I do, David. I also know that those eggs are 3p cheaper at Piggott's, the butcher's. Touche, I think.
Gimlet eyes. Hope she gets a toaster out on.
David,
Yeah?
have I got cheerful cheeks?
Oh, cheerful as beans.
Do you know what?
What?
I feel cheerful. Cheerful enough to do some housework.
Why? How cheerful can you get?
You look as if you've just heard Rosamond Street supermarket's closed
Oh,
down.
it doesn't, does it?
Well, I just bought a giant tin of pears there.
You traitor.
What were you grinning at?
Oh, Irma.
Oh. Shut to give up?
Oh, no, not your Nellie. She's much better.
Oh, great.
Anyway, what can I get for you that you can't get at the supermarket?
A box of matches.
A box of matches. And Stan Ogden thinks that big Jim Callaghan comes to me when he's short of money.
Dave,
Yep.
Has Emma said how better she is?
What do you mean, how better?
Simple enough. How better?
Oh, she looks like she's better. She says she's better. She's behaving like she's better.
Oh, that's all. Nothing about...
Oh, well, what do you want?
The threatens, aren't they?
What?
Matches.
Yeah.
Thanks. See you. Ta-da.
Val!
No, Jack, I've got to refuse. No offence, but...
No, I agree.
Definitely not. Now, come on, lads. Be sports. Have these on the house.
No.
Definitely not. But somebody's got to look after her. You can't watch a football match with any walking. It's like taking a parson to a booze-up.
No, it'd be very awkward.
Should tell our elder every time I profaned.
You mean swears? Oh. I can't let her stand at City Head with just Lucille. They'll christen her widow Twanky before she even gets through the gate.
Well, keep her in, then.
I would if I could build a moat round the pub, and anyhow, it's mostly your fault too, Jerry.
Oh, I didn't make that down.
Telling her she'd no right to go calling football crowds riff-raff until she'd stood in one of them.
Well, I didn't know she'd take me up on it,
Well,
did I?
she has, so I think it's up to you to keep an eye on her. Go on, lads, on the house.
No, she's Annie. No, well, she's Mrs. Walker.
Definitely not. She's a woman.
Now then, gentlemen. Which of you is going to teach me all the alternatives to shut your flaming cake-hole?
You what?
Well, if I'm going to mix with the hoi polloi, I must understand the vernacular and use it in self-defense, of course.
Jack, you're on. I think tonight or this afternoon's going to be an experience.
The disaster.
Gentlemen, the door. We are not yet at the match. Mr. Ogden,
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
the toilet roll, if you please.
How did you know?
I guessed. Ina saw you pass, Dennis. She said sent me to find out what you found out. I hope it isn't something about Mr. Tanner. He's an engaging man.
Mrs. Caldwell, I lost a big chunk of my faith in human nature this morning.
Oh, has Mr. Tanner been codding you then?
According to me dad, my granddad is fit enough to run after women.
Oh, dear.
And according to Madam Toffyshop, that 70 quid he saved up for an headstone is what he owes her for board and lodging. Any road she reckons he's going to buy a greyhound with it.
Oh, dear.
And she says he left there just seconds before they were going to chuck him out.
What are you going to do, Dennis?
One thing a con man can't stand is another con man.
You're going to ask him to leave?
Nor ask, tell.
Hello, my lad. Hello, Mrs. Caldwell. Well, I've done it.
Oh, dear. I'd better go and report to Ina.
You've done what? As if I'm interested.
I bought me stone.
Grandad, you'll just have...
You've bought what? I bought me headstone. Here's the receipt. It's in blue slate. I'm not having it delivered yet, not yet, of course, you know what I mean.
You've bought a stone?
Aye, only cost me 60, which reminds me, here's t'other 10. That'll keep me in food and lodging for a week or two, won't it? I'll start worrying now about buying side stones. I want them in blue slate and all. Here, you can hold brass for me. Be me banker. You will, won't you?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. I'll be very glad to.
I'm only making room for your bum, love. Come here, too.
You can, love.
Hey, love, how about letting me sit down, then you can park on my knee? Hello, John.
Would you kindly breathe your fumes elsewhere, please?
Oh, come on, I won't tell your husband.
He wouldn't believe you. He knows I've got far too much taste.
Auntie Annie, he looks dangerous.
Not dangerous, dear. Just excessively common.
If you were a man, I'd...
Oh, no, you wouldn't. Not even if I were a very little man.
You know, we should have had danger money for this, apart from that free pint from Jack.
We could always say we're not with her.
If she insults him again, I'm going off.
Oh, which?
Sticks and stones. Where to now, then?
Platt Lane End, love, it's quieter.
Which is the roughest?
Oh, City End, the cupboard's down. Take your pick.
City End has a ring to it.
Oh, blimey, come on.
Oh, she's determined to lose the trouble just so she can say I told you so and stop me coming.
Aye, we could be about to see a war of the worlds. Hers and that lot in there. Come on.
Hey, what's making you look like a wet tomcat?
Can't help my face.
You could risk a pain and smile.
What do you mean?
Oh, there's that pyramid and all.
You what?
Well, when other people have something troubling them, well, they sit and eat marmalade and toast or sit holding their ear, but, well, you build pyramids.
They're not selling so well. I'm making a display.
You brewed it.
Well, if I am, I don't know it.
Yes, you do.
All right. Well, it's something Val didn't say this morning.
Something she didn't say. It's bad enough worrying when people do say things, but worrying when they don't is just throwing your arms round trouble.
She didn't say you were better. Twice she didn't.
Not being my twin, how can she know?
I kept saying how better you were, and she didn't think it was true.
Oh, well, it's 'cause she hadn't seen me carrying no book salesman into my boudoir.
She kept saying, how better is she?
Ooh, all right, David. Riddles went out with Red Nose Comics.
Has it scared you?
What?
The miscarriage?
No.
Has it, Irma?
Yes, it has.
Oh, love, it's not something you could help.
I know, and I know I'm better. Enough people have told me I am. But it doesn't stop me being scared, does it? And I'm going to be scared for a long time to come.
Oh, what about another baby?
You have it.
and heart attacks. And what for, I keep asking myself. Whatever for?
Look, Auntie Anne, if you don't understand the game, feast your eyes on number 9 for me.
Which is that?
Mike Summerby.
Oh, the dark, satanic one. I had noticed him.
You're busier than a ping-pong ball.
Well, it's not easy being Ina's eyes and ears and her arms and her
Wouldn't be
legs.
easy for 20 people.
Joe Marsden was a messenger for a general on the Somme.
Fancy?
Joe got shot. The general didn't.
No, they never do. Still, we have to have somebody to lay the wreaths.
Has Mr. Tanner gone then?
Listen, there he goes, the Nightingale of number 11.
But I thought...
Ah, you remember that little talk we had today about faith in human nature?
Yes, Dennis.
Well, I've decided to start again from scratch. From this day on, the world isn't full of people waiting to drop me in a fishmonger's dustbin. I'm only going to see the best in people. Everybody's lovely.
Oh, Mr. Tanner's stopping then.
Till his tribe come out of the desert to claim him.
Oh, dear. Well, then I think I'd better tell Ina that everything's changed. And I wouldn't mind, only she'll shout at me.
She won't be shouting, Mrs. Caldwell. It's just that her voice is a little bit louder than most. Remember, everybody's lovely, even Mrs. Sharples.
I know, Dennis. Ina doesn't shout.
That's the idea.
She bawls!
Hey, Grandad.
What?
These comms must be a bit drafty.
What do you think shirt laps are for, then?
Oh, we learn something every day, don't we? What are those?
Bacon ribs.
For?
Your tea.
I'm not an Alsatian.
Oh, I thought you'd like them. I got them special.
Yeah, well, I'll try them, one or two.
Ah, good lad. Good lad.
I have to try them, haven't I?
He's going to fire! Shoot! Oh, hard luck, my dear.
Go on now.
What's happening? Come on, Steve.
Hey, our Annie's definitely swinging or rattling.
Hey, it's a miracle!
Is it still tender?
Oh, old bones, lad.
Oh, well, what I can do to help?
Not a thing. Minnie Colwell's been as good as gold and I'd never let on, you know.
Ah, no, I've seen her racing about.
Puffing about more like.
Mind you, she's not been on the go all the time.
Well, to hear her talk, she has.
Oh, she's been in once or twice at dinner time for snifters.
Oh, the false rabbit. She never said a word to me. Never even brought me a bottle back.
Well, I'd better be going. I think I'd better be there when Annie gets back from her outing.
Well, where's she gone?
Well, don't you know?
Well, I wouldn't be asking if I did.
She's gone to what city? To study wildlife, as she calls it.
Annie Walker at a football match.
Oh, I was as surprised as you. And worried, too. Hello, love.
Oh, hello, Mr. Walker.
Oh, so you can tell me about Annie Walker's little trip, otherwise I might know how often you've been at Rovers. Secret drinking, Minnie Colwell, is a long, long way on the road to perdition.
Ina.
What?
You're a hay bag.
Minnie Caldwell!
And if you'd been on the Somme, you'd have been a general.
It's only while we're in the shop, love.
Ah, it's been a pleasure to have your company, Mrs. Walker.
I don't see any need to get chips, you know, Lucille. I've got a perfectly good meal waiting for us.
Oh, it's all part of the scene.
We've got to stand in order.
You're going to finish the course, Mrs. Walker.
Well, I've never eaten in the street in the whole of my life.
Chips should never be eaten anywhere else.
I'll put bags of vinegar on, love. Don't worry. Come on, lads. Right.
Lucille, can't you help to hold some of these things? They look noisy, even in repose.
Well, you liked him enough this afternoon, you knocked me head off with one.
A moment of folly. I was carried away by mass hysteria.
And what about your language when Michael got tripped?
Well, I'm sure I said nothing regrettable.
You did.
Oh, well, he is rather a love.
He's dreaming.
Yes, he is.
What's you shoving? It's one of them, George.
A Manchester City supporter, Lenny.
I can't understand it.
Me neither.
I mean, you'd think at her age she'd know better.
Be content with her pie.
Still, they've nothing much better to do up here.
Well, it's only getting wet.
She could watch United.
But they're just as bad.
True. I'm glad I'm only visiting,
Yeah.
We are the champions!
The world champions, eh? Hey, come on.
That'll be the day.
You were saying, missus? What will be the day?
There you are, lad. All right if I leave you, Arnie. I'm setting the table for Annie.
Oh, set a place for me.
Oh, like that at home, is it?
You can say that again. And again.
Well, just give me a shout if anybody else comes in.
Right, will do, Mr. Walker. Worst things happening on the roads.
You've got kids.
You'll have them.
Oh, she's scared, mate. She really is.
You know one of the biggest kicks I get out of Susan and Peter?
Knowing they're yours.
No, I seen them in their pajamas just after they've been bathed. They glow like a couple of rosy apples. It makes you feel like you want to have one every day. And I'm only a beer and backy lad.
Meaning?
Meaning that women feel the same things about kids, only 10,000 more so. Most of them.
And you think Irma does?
I'm sure of it. Well, the old cure for a fed-up wife was to give her a kid to hold, wasn't it? It still is a cure.
Supposing she doesn't.
David, mate, she does.
Supposing she won't.
Well, then you adopt one.
Adopt one?
Yeah, I often think I don't want another of my own. I mean, it's far better to give an unwanted kid a home, isn't it?
Adopt one? I never thought of that.
You're not so talkative all of a sudden, is she?
Yeah, well, I don't think she's a supporter. I think she always looks like this.
She's got all the gear, though.
Yeah, well, she could have been selling ice cream.
I don't want to call my friends out of the shop. One of them happens to be a man of some position.
Did you hear that, George?
I think I did, Lanny.
She's got friends.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, well, she has to pay them to be seen with.
There isn't that much money.
Your wit matches your manners.
Hey, she's right, you know, George.
How do you mean, Lenny?
Well, we're not being very respectful.
You don't know the meaning of the word.
Yeah, come on, let's leave Widow Twanky alone.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm just enjoying myself here.
Oh, I'm glad you're coming to sense, even if it is a bit late.
But first,
a song.
1, 2.
E-I-I-D-O, Widow Twanky lost her cat. E-I-I-D-O, it had kittens in her hat. Hey! What's the...
Hey, what's going... Hey! What's going on?
Shop window.
Never mind that. Look who's coming down the street.
Some mothers have 'em.
Officer, I would remind you.
Plate glass. Meant to be looked through, not broken.
It were.
An accident, officer, I assure you.
I think perhaps we'd better all amble down to the place where I work.
All?
Oh, I can't leave these two, madam. Even if they are your babies. Now, come on. Move along.
Hey.
There. Come on, lads.
Look,
Auntie Annie.
You know what she is, don't you?
Obvious, isn't it?
Oh, ball hooligan.
He won't be tuned to us.
Reprimander.
Finer.
Or jailer.